Assalamu alaikum class. Today I am going to start a new topic, that is the processing of the crude drug. But before I start a new topic, I would like to just review some points which we already discussed in the previous classes. There's the crude drug. As you know, the crude drug are in raw form, and we can classify the crude drug in two different groups: organized and unorganized drug. And the true drug can be official and non-official drug. Then we have done classification of the crude drug. We can classify the crude drug in different groups like alphabetical classification, taxonomical classification, therapeutic classification, pharmacological classification, and chemotaxonomical classification. Then we have done pharmacognostic study of the crude drug. How do we study the pharmacognostic study the crude drug? What are the different steps required for the study of the crude drug? Now we start the processing of the crude drug. The processing of the crude drug. Why we do the processing of the crude drug? The reason is to stabilize the drug in transportation and storage. As you know, the crude drug are in a raw form. So therefore, to ensure the absence of the foreign matter or other irrelevant material, because this foreign matter is, if it is present in the crude drug, the crude drug can be toxic. For preparation of the crude drug for commercial market, there are these different methods are adopted to meet the standard of pharmacopoeial requirement. So therefore, crude drug should have passed through different stages in order to make a drug useful to the mankind by all means. There are the certain steps for the preparation of the crude drug. Number 1 is cultivation, number 2 is collection, then harvesting, coupling, preservation, packaging, and storage. Now the first we discuss the cultivation. Cultivation of the crude drugs. As you know, the crude drug can be cultivated or can be wild, but there are the certain advantages of the cultivation of the crude drug. The cultivation of the medicinal plant required intensive care and management. The condition and duration of the cultivation depend upon the quality of the medicinal plant material, and it can be vary because different plant has different property. Therefore, the quality and growth of the medicinal plant can be affected by some other plants, some living organism, and by human activities. This medicinal plant material derived from the same species can show significant differences in quality when cultivated at different sites due to the influence of the soil, climatic condition, and other factors. And pharmacopoeias specify if the drug is cultivated or wild. For example, the fennel, ginger, cinnamon, and opium are the cultivated species. But opium only official grove may legally produce this plant. And some herbs like senna, trachigan may be collected from both, either from the wild sources or cultivated species. There are certain advantages of the cultivation of the plant. Cultivation of the plant ensures the quality as well as the purity of the medicinal plant. It improves the quality of the plant. It helps in selecting the species variety and hybridization. Species variety, for example, we have two different varieties of the Purus amygdalus, bitter almond and sweet almond. Bitter almond variety Amara, and the sweet almond the variety is Dulcis. And a hybrid, for example, oranges, we have different hybrids of the oranges like Fruto, Malta, Mosambi, etc. Therefore, it will help in selecting the species variety and hybrid. And due to the controlled environmental growth, better plant products can be obtained, and cultivation of the plant can give a better yield as well as the therapeutic quality of the drug can be maintained. As well as it also ensures the regular supply of the crude drug through cultivation. Some drugs like cardamom, clove, opium, peppermint, tea, ginger, cinnamon, and fennel are obtained from the cultivated plant. There are some disadvantages of the wild plant. In a wild plant, very difficult to transport the herb to area of processing. Why? Because these wild plants can grown in a forest and mountainous region, so therefore it would be difficult to access these plants. And sometimes collector ignorance. So the collector ignorance means unskillful person. Because of the unskillful person, there are chances of the admixture of the other plant or other plant parts, and a collection of undesired plant parts. If we need leaves, then it can be if we need fresh leaves, then it can be a dry leaves due to the collector ignorance. And sometimes the stages of the development means sometimes we required fresh fruit, and then we due to the collector ignorance we can get unripe fruit. And due to the incorrect season means sometimes the drug required in the summer season, and due to the collector ignorance the drug can be collected in a winter season. All these factors can lead to the loss of the active phytoconstituent, therefore the medicinal property of the plant can be lost. Now the methods of the cultivation. With these methods, medicinal plant can be propagated by two methods. Number one is sexual method, which is known as seed propagation, and number two is asexual method, which is known as vegetative propagation. Now the first method is the sexual method or seed propagation. The plant which are raised from the seed is known as seedling plants, and these seedling plants has some advantages. The seedlings are long life in case of the perennial drugs. Perennial drugs are those drugs which are available throughout the years, and it bear more heavily in case of the fruits. The seedling plants are comparatively cheaper and easy to raise and easily available, and propagation from the seed has been responsible for the production of some specific products such as oranges and papaya. Other vegetative method cannot be utilized. If other vegetative method cannot be utilized, therefore the propagation can be done only sexual method or seed propagation. It also has some limitation. The seedling trees are sometimes not uniform in their growth, therefore the yielding capacity as compared to the grafted trees, and it required more time to bear as compared to the grafted plant, and cost of the harvesting, spraying of the pesticide is more as compared to the grafted trees. It means the seedling plants are not economical. And for seedling or for sexual method, the seed should be of good quality, and it should be capable of high germination rate, and it should be free from disease and insects, and it should be free from other seeds and other irrelevant material. And sometimes for increased germination, a chemical treatment is required. For example, some stimulant like gibberellin, cytokine, ethylene, ethylurea, potassium nitrate and sodium hypochlorite to increase the germination. And sometimes other special treatment is also given to seed to enhance the germination rate. For example, soak the seed in a water for a day or for 2 or 3 days. It depends upon the nature of the seed. For example, castor seed, it requires only soaking for a day, and some other slow germinating seed also requires soaking in a water. But sometimes soaking is not only done in a water, we use another solvent like some sulfuric acid. Soak the seed in a sulfuric acid. Example is henbane seed. Now the second method is asexual method or vegetative method. What is asexual or vegetative method? The vegetative method can be defined. It is a regeneration or formation of new individual drug from any vegetative part of the plant body, and this vegetative part of the plant of the body can be a stem, root, underground part of the plant, which is placed in such an environment that it develops into a new plant. It also has some advantages. By this method, there is no variation between the plant grown and the plant from which is grown, because we have the same variety. There is no difference, and the plant are uniform in growth and yielding capacity, and this seedless variety of the fruit can only be propagated vegetatively, for example grapes, pomegranate and lemon. and plants start bearing earlier as compared to the seedling trees, and by this method inferior unsuitable variety can be monitored. It also has some disadvantages. In comparison to seedling trees, these plants are not strong in growth and not long lived, and no new varieties can be evolved by this method. There are some examples of the plant which can grow through vegetative propagation. For example, all are the underground part of the plant. For example, the bulb, example is squirrel plant and a garlic plant. Combs, the example is colchicum and saffron. Tuber, the aconite and potato. Rhizome, the ginger and turmeric. Runners, the example is peppermint. Offsets, the example is aloe and valerian. And stolon, the example is licorice. Another method which also used for the plant propagation is an aseptic method. It's a new method for the propagation of the medicinal plant, and in this method the plants are developed in an artificial medium under aseptic condition, and the nutritional hormonal requirement should be provided. Then a fine piece of the plant like single cell, seed, embryo, root tips and shoot tips and pollen grain are placed in this aseptic environment, then plant can grow. It is a new method, aseptic method of propagation. Now there are certain factors which affect the cultivation. We can classify them in two different groups: environmental factors and post cultivation factor. Environmental factor is also called exogenous factor. The first we discuss the exogenous factor. This exogenous factor, this also we have climatic factor, altitude and latitude, soil condition, plant condition, and use of growth promoting substances. The first factor, that is the climatic factor. The plant should be cultivated in a condition which are similar to the plant's natural habitat. Most herbs grow best in sunny, some require dry conditions and some require wet conditions. These climatic conditions is also affect further factors. So there are certain factors which affect the climate, temperature, rainfall and day length. The first factor is the temperature, which is also a major factor. It affects both growth as well as the development of the plant. The development means the stages of the plant develop from ripe, unripe fruit, from seed to fruit, etc. And it also affects the metabolism of the plant. The metabolism of the plant means like growth of the formation of secondary metabolites. That is the metabolism of the plant. Increased temperature as well as the decreased temperature affect the quality of the medicinal plant adversely. For example, camphor and coffee. It cannot withstand the frost temperature, whereas saffron it required only cold climate, and pyrethrum it required only dry weather for cultivation. The volatile oil are produced more readily in a warmer weather. Because of the increased temperature, there is a chances of the physical loss of the volatile oil, as you know, because volatile oil are volatile in nature. Then peppermint, for example, which grown in a shade rather than the sun. These are the some medicinally important plants which require different temperature for their growth. For example, cinchona it requires 60 to 75 degree Fahrenheit. Coffee it requires 55 to 70 degree Fahrenheit. Tea it requires 70 to 90 degree Fahrenheit, and cardamom it requires 50 to 100 degree Fahrenheit. Now the second factor which affects the climatic condition is rainfall. Most of the plant need proper rainfall arrangement, proper arrangement for irrigation or sufficient rainfall for their development. Continuous rainfall can lose leaching of the water soluble substances through leaves and roots, and these water soluble substances can be a glycoside, tannins, flavonoid, some volatile oil, resins, etc. Therefore, the chances of the loss of all these active phytochemicals. Now, the third factor which affects the climatic condition is the day length and radiation characteristic. The amount and intensity of the light required For the plant, it differs from herb to herb. Light is a major factor which affects the amount of the secondary metabolite like glycoside, alkaloid, volatile oil, fixed oil, resins, sugar, etc. For example, belladonna, datura stramonium, and cinchona require full sunshine to give a higher content of the alkaloid than does in shade. But peppermint leaves, it require under long day condition, it contain maximum quantity of the menthol and menthol and traces of the menthoferon. But under short day, it contain maximum quantity of the menthoferon, which is a major component of the volatile required. And the other species which require more active constituent at night is a Nicotiana. It means the day length also affect the formation of the bioactive compounds. Thank you so much, class. If you have any query, then you can ask. Thank you.